awesome. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Hangout podcast. We're on season 4, episode 7. And I am with a beautiful, beautiful redhead from Las Vegas, Nevada. Lisza, take it away and tell everybody about you. And I think your mother must have been very clever with your name.
Okay. Yes, and there's a story behind that. So great to meet you. Thank you so much for having me on board with this. I know you and I have a lot to chat about, so I'll keep it very brief. My husband and I actually started our company back in 2003. So we have been around a long time. The OGs, as a lot of people call us, in the online space. And we started out actually as a brick and mortar facility. And I left a 6-figure, solid 20-year corporate job to take the risk, to jump in and dive in with my husband. And he and I just said, we're doing this. And we opened up our first brick and mortar, as I said, in 2003, and we haven't looked back since. So I'm excited to share the journey with you.
Yeah. So now, do you still have a brick and mortar?
No. Yeah. In fact, we went entirely online in 2009. So if you guys recall 2008, 2009, what happened at that time, we were in Southern California. We were in the heart of the real estate broker area, right? So when 2009 happened, we literally went from $5,000 days to $200 months, like that, almost in 1 month. We pretty much, lost everything. And closed up shop, moved everything into our home at the time, and we haven't looked back. So
that is awesome. So I'm going to dovetail on that for a minute, because here's what I was doing in 2008. So first of all, I spent 25 years in commercial real estate. Most of you know that. I had a team, and I did the most craziest thing ever. I started a safari business in Africa in 2004. Right? Wow. 2004, we're cooking along, we're doing the thing. A lot of my people were big contractors, right? Home builder contractors. Everything was great in 2004. I'm growing. I've got my team. I'm still doing real estate, but I get to go to Africa with some of the wealthiest people on the planet, drink bourbon, watch, elephants, and still do my business. And then the 2008 crash, man. And guess what? Crickets out there, because there was no builders, no people, no traveling. Everything was and I'm like, oh my goodness, what have I done? Yep. I hear you, man.
It was a scary time.
Yeah. So pivoting is smart, and so now you used to have a brick and mortar, and this is it, because we're on the Entrepreneurs Hangout, man. We are entrepreneurs, and you had a corporate job. I've never had a corporate job. So, but I like to always have something so that entrepreneurs today can look back on, maybe around about we're the same age, and think of like, how did they do it? Oh, this is so easy today. And how, or maybe they think it's really, really difficult today because there's so much noise, and so that is awesome. So you dove in with your husband. Now you're at $200 a month. What did you do, Lisza? What did you do?
Well, it was interesting. It was very scary at that time. We had been extremely successful. And we had to pivot. We had to pivot, and we had to pivot quickly. And we were really fortunate in that we already had a small portion of our business that was online. And so we realized we had to move everything into online. And so we did a very fast pivot. We shut down our brick and mortar. We had almost a 10,000 square foot facility. It was a full health and wellness facility in Irvine, California, like in the heart of everything. Moved everything into our home, went 100% just online. And since we had we already had sort of a foundation on there, we just poured everything into that. And like, what is it that we have to do to really build this up? And so we went all in, and we were able to survive, right, during that time. But first of all, it was just surviving. And then we went from surviving to thriving, and we really turned everything around. And what I'll tell you is, what was so interesting about this is this really served us so well when 2020 happened,
Yeah.
right? Because now all of a sudden again, everything goes in cycles, and that's part of what we teach is understanding the business cycles. And this was just another cycle. And we were really, cognizant that there was something that was going to happen then. We didn't know that. We didn't know it was going to be a pandemic, but we were really gearing our clients for a recession. And so we started really helping our clients in 2019 move online as much as possible. So when 2020 happened and everything shut down, we were already positioned and our clients were already positioned. And our clients thrived during that time when everything, especially we were in the health and wellness industry. Right. So gyms were shutting down, health centers were shutting down, everything was shutting down, and our clients were able to thrive, and we were able to thrive during that time as well. So it was just really an understanding that even when times are really tough, and I think we're kind of moving into that other cycle again.
Yeah.
When things start happening, that there are ways to transition or pivot. We talk about pivoting when you understand that there's so much more flexibility as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. So, and I want to hear more about your health and wellness space. Have you always been in that space? Because I know, we both help companies and entrepreneurs scale and grow. I love the space of the wellness space. I always try to be a healthy person. I'm active. I'm like, I can say that I'm like a supplement connoisseur. Okay. I love supplements, but anyways, so tell me a little bit about how did you get into the health and wellness space?
Yes. Okay. So that's really where we started. My husband's a registered dietitian. He was working at one of the top 5 health clubs in the country when I met him, because I was a member. That's where we met. And
now you're telling us the truth.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now you're telling us some secret stuff.
Yeah. That's another story, but that was where we met. And my background is exercise physiology. So when I went to university, that was my degree, exercise physiology, with a minor in marketing. And my whole vision was that I wanted to work with a professional sports team. Well, best laid plans never happened. I ended up going to the corporate world for 20 years. And then I met my husband. And we just sort of took both of our backgrounds and combined it together. So I was always passionate about health and wellness. I always had one foot in there. I'm an instructor and teacher for a million different things. And so then we combined forces. And he wrote the very first CEU accredited nutrition certification program on the market back in 2003. We released it. It is still one of the top selling certifications in the market 21 years later.
Cool.
And he also created the very first custom nutrition software. And so we really took that and packaged it and bundled it and started working. Actually, we started off with major contracts with big companies. Gold's Gym International was one of our first big contracts. Max Muscle Stores. We worked with a variety of different gym facilities all across the country. And so we started in that arena, but we realized that we loved working with the entrepreneur. So with Gold's Gym International, they had both corporate-owned gyms and they had franchises.
Yes.
And we really connected with the franchisees. We really started working with them and teaching them how to do custom stuff and how to really do the business of nutrition. And that's where we started to then expand upon it. When those contracts ended, we just focused on working with entrepreneurs and the small business owners. Because of my background in business and in marketing, we started developing that. And that's where we started doing the business strategy with them, tying in the business of nutrition. And so it just sort of grew from there. My husband's very well known in that industry. By the way, we're actually known as supplement experts. We've been brought in many companies, all different companies, to help them with formulations, what goes into a product, and more importantly, what does not go into it. And so we've worked with different companies from medical grade supplements to multi-level marketing supplements to a variety of different, just privately owned companies.
That's awesome. So you know what? That's good because, I do a lot of work with angel investors, and I get a lot of a lot of people trying to pitch, their various thoughts and their ideas, and some of them they're startups, and some of them are a little more than seed. And so that is really, really good. I bet you, do you get a lot of hits on startups trying to say, hey, listen, I'd like to break into the supplement industry, and asking you advice?
We have, yes. As I
Yeah.
said, my husband especially, they'll send stuff to us all the time. We're always getting supplements, and again, we understand more. We look into how they are manufactured and what goes in and what does not go in. And so we're yes, we are pitched a lot.
Yeah.
Our business has evolved substantially, so it's not as much anymore. Although we just got one. We just got another one last week. So yeah, I mean, it still happens, just not as much because
Okay.
the direction of our company has evolved. So we're doing less of that.
Okay.
However, we have a lot of contacts in the industry, so they come to us a lot.
That's awesome. So let's talk about something that's, when you say your company has evolved, now when does and it could be the health and wellness space, it could just be in your general knowledge. When does an entrepreneur or a company know it's time to pivot, to evolve? I'm ready to go to the next level. What's that metrics in your opinion?
Yeah, I love this question. Great question. So one of our sayings is, if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yeah.
Meaning that you, as an entrepreneur, and you know this, it takes a lot to be an entrepreneur, right? You've got to have a thick skin. You've got to be risk adverse. There's a lot of pieces in there, knowing that, there's so many different things, economy and what's happening in the world. And it's always going to be sort of this ebb and flow. And so if you're stuck in one thing and one way of doing it, just know that it's going to evolve. So I'll give you a perfect example. The evolution of AI right now, right? This is the big hot word at this point, AI everything. I know a lot of people are still afraid of that, right? They're afraid of what it can do. I helped coach a woman not too long ago who is a copywriter, and she's just like all upset about AI and how this is going to take her away. And I basically coached her to say, look, here's the thing. You can be afraid of it and you're going to get wiped out. Or you can learn to adapt and utilize it and use it as a strength as part of what you do so that you can evolve with it. And then you're becoming more of an expert. And so that's what I mean by evolving. Our company today looks nothing like it did in 2003.
Sure,
nothing.
Sure.
Now we have the background, we have the experience that we bring with us. And so all of our clients know, they've seen, we're always an open book on the evolution of where we started and how we bring our continued education, training, resources, tools, mastermind experience, all those things we bring along with us to be able to serve our clients.
It is funny because, evolution is there. And a lot of people are fearful of AI. Okay. But here's the deal. Oh my gosh. AI, my ChatGPT, she's my best friend.
Me too.
She's my best friend.
My best.
I know. My VA says he's my best friend. And I'm like, no, I have to call her a she. Okay. I have to call her a she. I wish we could label them or name them. Like otherwise, like, how you drive a car. Yes. I'm not one of those. I've only named one car. But ChatGPT is my best friend, man. So it helps you. It's not going to replace you. It helps you. And so it's just one of the tools in your tool belt. And believe me, it's going to be, whether you like it or not, it's going to be the best one that you got right now.
Okay, I have to share with you really quick because you and I are totally on point. You have to go to my Facebook page and check out a post from a couple of days ago, and it was all about my discussion with ChatGPT and giving me a description of me as my drunk bestie.
My God, that's hilarious.
Act as my drunk bestie and tell me I can't remember how I posted it, but I posted it all in there and it is fantastic. So
my God, I'll check it out. That is so funny. But you know what? When we talk about like experience, right? Experience you can never get away from. Now, I know that there's going to be a lot of digital marketers out there because technically, that's the industry that we're in. Industry or digital marketing or teaching or whatever it might be, coaching. whatever. But back in the day, like I'm talking, just think about this, you guys. Think about like I was not a young realtor, but I was up there. I was circle 26. I was the top 26 realtor
Wow.
in the state of Arizona at that time. And this was glossy fax days. I'm talking glossy fax days. Like I went away to Africa for a month, and the phone, if I was going to have it, because I didn't want to be away from my business, was like a flipping brick, right?
The brick phone, yeah.
And the thing, so now we got laptops coming out. My first laptop was going to be like $7,000.
Wow.
And I had to embrace it. I was scared crapless, but I'm like, I have to do this because I'm just going to be left in the dust if I don't. So that is where ChatGPT is. And it doesn't weigh a ton, y'all. It weighs nothing. And right now, yes, I would encourage you to go ahead and get the $20 version because you get a lot of stuff for that.
Yes.
But it is awesome. So, Lisza, I think though, like we're talking about a lot, but where do you think chat can help us most? Say, for example, with business strategy, because I got a tough question for you at the end, but just with business strategy, how can chat help us? And what's your take on it?
So I love it. So chat is a starting point. So one of the things my husband has known about me for a very long time is I do not like to, I'm not a great copywriter, meaning starting with a blank page. I never have been. I love to edit though. I am a fabulous editor, meaning give me something that is a draft. So I've always used virtual assistants to do the first round, gather the research, put things together. So I've now shifted that to chat because chat enables me to quickly get in, ask it to, research on a particular topic. So I'll have it research. I'll share what it is and everything that I need for it. And then it gives me the first draft. So it is not something that I ever take and just, all right, this is it and use it. So to me, it is that first draft where I can then go in and edit it, make it sound like me. Now, chat is literally getting better every day. It is exponentially improving every single day.
Yeah.
And in fact, like 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, it was amazing because I was doing a whole project with chat, and I don't even remember what it was exactly, but it was writing something up for me. And then it said, Lisza, so would you like me to take this and then add this piece and then add this and do the rest of this? And I was like, it thought of my next step before I did. And that's where it's at now. It's now leading me to that next step before I even get to ask it. And so it's so exciting because, as you know, this makes us much more efficient. I can get so much more done. I'm literally turning things around really quickly. I'm able to, I draft documents up. I draft my social media. I'm utilizing it now and turning things around much faster. And to me, that's about efficiency. And as entrepreneurs, that means it is a non-negotiable now. Like this is a part of business. And if you're not using it, you will absolutely be left behind.
The 100%. It's, I use it in my everyday practice 100% every day. I mean, like 20 times a day. Right. Yeah. But at the same time, you have to have, and I know you're an automation expert. I'm an automation. Oh, I love it. I try to, I try to deliver to people like these are the tools to help your business grow. I really get offended when, not offended, that's a harsh word, but I cringe when I hear entrepreneurs, they don't want to pay for any sort of tools, right? They're always looking for the free tools. Well, guess what? You can't make money unless you spend some money. I just want you to spend it wisely.
Yes. We always say, again, if you won't invest in yourself, why would somebody else invest in you?
Right.
And this is really true. You're asking people to invest in you as for your business, whatever that might be. But if you're not even, open, you've got to invest in yourself. You've got to be a product of the product or set the example. As a coach and as a mentor, my husband and I have always invested in coaches and mentors, always. And the
Right.
very few times where we maybe had a lapse in having a coach or mentor was the few times where we might have gone off track. Because again, we practice what we preach. A mentor or coach is going to keep you and be able to see your track, see you, keep you on track, keep you focused on the direction that you're going. We have we have lots of sayings, which is you cannot read the label from inside the jar. And that means you're in your business, right? You can't see the things that somebody from outside looking in can see. Even as an experienced coach, I always say it's so much easier to coach somebody else on their business than to be able to apply the same things that I know to my own business, right?
100%. And you know what it is too, you guys? I don't know about you, but I guess, I mean, here's the deal. Okay. Clearly we've been around the block, right? And the thing of it is when there are times that I don't have a mentor, sometimes it's a specific area. For example, I've just, in 2024, I started a nonprofit called Wings of Growth. And now I've sat on the board of nonprofits. I have volunteered, but I've never started one. And so right now I'm really, really super excited. I'm just about ready to launch or to dive into a mentor program for that. And I'm like, I got to fundraise. I got to make money for this, my nonprofit. So there's always times when you need a coach. You can't go to the next level. You just can't.
Absolutely. Right. Totally agree with you. And that's a very smart move for you, because 501(c)(3)s are a whole nother world. It's it's done completely differently. Right. And so you will have exponential growth when you invest in a coach to help you do it right, because they've been through it. They already know. So they're guiding you on the path that's already been done instead of you recreating the wheel. That's the brilliant move. So it's fantastic.
For me, I always preach. I preach what I teach, right? And it's like a mentor will save you money. 100% will save you money, and it will make you money. So that little amount that you think you're spending on a coaching program, on a mentor program, if it's the right one, you will make that hand over fist entirely. And you will catapult yourself to the next level. You will shorten that time frame that takes you to get there, which then still makes that money completely worth it.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Yes, we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up with something that's kind of, it's definitely my direction that I'm thinking on, that I'm kind of focused on right now. I can turn on the news, turn on the news, flip my thing. That was old school, surf, whatever. There's a lot of layoffs right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of layoffs, and that's hard. That's hurt. I feel for these people. Where do you think, as being an entrepreneur, where do you think this is all going to go, Lisza? What's your opinion on all of this?
And it's so interesting that you asked this question today, because I saw a post from a friend of mine. She posted this morning on this topic. This is really crazy, on this exact topic. So I am not going to make any predictions, and I'm not going to touch politics here. However, with the layoffs that are happening, all I can recommend to those people who, are finding themselves in a situation that they never, ever in a million years thought they would be in, right? Because as government employees, they knew what their path was, right? They knew they had so many years before they got a pension and all of the things. And now all of a sudden that has changed.
Right.
I'm going to encourage them to seek out not only knowledge, but seek out direction, figure out or do some work on yourself to find out your passions and what really lights you up and what fires you up, and, how can you possibly monetize that? Because it's not just about a passion, but is there a pathway to help you monetize that? And yes, there are a lot of coaches out there, but I'm also going to caution everyone, and I think, Kiley, you'll probably agree with me on this. Do your research on the coaches, right? Interview them if you have to. Find out their background. How long have they been doing this? And I'm going to give a really, really good example here. As you know, as you mentioned earlier, we come from the health and wellness background. My husband and I have extensive background and knowledge in education and training. And one of our big pet peeves was where we would see somebody who lost 50 pounds or 100 pounds, and now all of a sudden they're a weight loss coach. You guys be careful.
Yeah.
Because they did that. Their results has nothing to do with what your results will be. They have no, the background knowledge, what worked for them may not have work at all for you. Everyone is different. And so it's the same thing here. When you're researching a coach or a mentor, make sure you're diving into their background, their experience. What have they done? How have they applied this? And their clients. Who are the clients that they work with? Is it the kind of, end result that you are looking for? Okay, just because they're a coach, does that mean that they've gotten results for their clients as well? And so that's just a piece I would say, do your research, just like anything. You go online and on the internet and you can be inundated and you can get lost and go down a scroll hole and all the things. So just manage it. And perhaps, I'll just put this out there, use ChatGPT to do a little bit of research for you. Seriously, ask it. And now it has a whole piece that says research. Like it'll literally.
I use it a ton.
It's fantastic. And so it does the research, ask the hard questions, and then set up interviews. Yeah.
This is pretty funny. I don't know that I want to do this. I might do it for fun now that that's there. This is probably after a good, maybe 2 glasses of wine. This could be funny. Hey, ChatGPT, research Kiley Doll.
Yeah. Well, like I said, go to my Facebook post, check it out. It was from a couple of days ago, and I put the prompt in there. Yeah. I promise you, Kiley, because I can tell you and I are on the same wavelength there. You will love it. It is hysterical.
I'll laugh. Okay, so now before we go, I think that the layoffs, people somehow, gut reaction and gut feeling, that I believe that most of those people thought about different things at some point or another in their life. Hey, what if I get laid off? I mean, my husband's got a stellar job, but people still think that. What if I do get laid off? And it's a viable question, y'all.
Yes.
Because we don't control what's going on. So then would I want to start my own business? And, I still think that the worst thing I would want to do is the what if. But what if I didn't start my business? What if I stayed in that job that I really didn't like very well? It wasn't really, really, really fulfilling. I did it because it was a paycheck. Yes. Well, count those days and just maybe take a breather. I say sit still, ask yourself some questions, and yes, 100%, get a mentor. But I love what you said, but I would want to, don't feel that you can't ask. Hey, I'd like to talk to Lisza or Kiley, your clients. I'd like to hear what they had to say about you on a first level basis. And I think that that's a smart move.
Absolutely. Yeah. Here's the thing. As an entrepreneur, you get to create your own economy, which means it's up to you. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy. All right. It's going to be there. You may work late, long hours on sometimes, etc. But you get to create your own economy. And for some people, that changes everything. And it's not for everyone, though. It's just not.
Nope, it is not. It's not. I say, listen, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm serious. And I remind my clients about that. I'm like, listen, if it was easy, everybody would do it. Right? Yeah. So it's not easy. Lisza, you have been an absolute gem. I'm going to check out your post. I think we're going to be having like a follow-up podcast. I think that would be a lot of fun. And I'm sure that you and I are going to get to collaborate and work on some projects together.
I think so for sure. There's definitely, I know we're going to have a glass or a drink of wine at some point. So yes.
High five. All right, you guys, that's it for now. If you would like to be a guest on the Entrepreneurs Hangout podcast, please hit me up in Messenger, LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm all over the place. You can find me. It's every Wednesday at 3 EST, and I'd love to have you on my show. Bye for now.